What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. This week in the news, the biggest thing I saw that seemed to trigger a lot of people was the whole thing with this couple in California. They were painting the city, or the city street, black, where BLM had graffitied it with Black Lives Matter. Now, regardless if the city gave them permission to do it or not, it's still graffiti. The city needs to stay out of it. It's not their business telling BLM that they can go ahead and graffiti the city streets. It was wrong for them to do it. But anyways, this couple triggered a bunch of extreme leftists by covering it up with black paint. And apparently they're going to arrest them for graffiti now, even though BLM are the ones who graffitied the street in the first place. Regardless, if the city gave them permission, the city should not have given them permission to graffiti the streets. It's against the law. So the city helped them break the law in the first place. They need to be held accountable. But regardless, I personally think it's ridiculous. It's just dumb. You know, you know how I feel about the whole Black Lives movement. It's literally, you know, a racist and terrorist organization. It should not be supported by anybody. They need to quit calling it anti-racist movement, because it's not. It's literally the most racist group out there. Even worse than the KKK or white supremacy. It's black supremacists, and they're just throwing a hissy fit because they ain't getting their way. They want to be able to break the law and be not held accountable for it. That's the only difference. But regardless of that, moving on. So that was the big thing I saw in the news. Dumb. You know, where are they at when, you know, the 8-year-old girl that Black Lives Matter people went and shot up? They killed this 8-year-old girl. And then they say nothing. They don't help the family out or anything. You know, they could care less. They got this girl killed. Just like they got them 2 boys in Seattle killed. They're killing their own. And for anyone to go claim that they're not racist, you're an ignorant fool. They are racist to the max. They don't care about you. The Democrats don't care about you. They support Black Lives Matter because they're racist. They're the ones who started the Ku Klux Klan. Come on. You people who support this group, you got to be, seriously, look at what's going on. You can't be that ignorant. Alright, moving on. I was going to do a review on a movie called Planet of Dinosaurs from 1977, but that movie was so bad. It was just absolutely horrible. It was terrible. I couldn't make it through the first 30 minutes or whatever. I think I fell asleep because I can't remember much after that. It was so bad. Everything about it was terrible. So I do not recommend you watch a movie called Planet of Dinosaurs. It is super bad. Don't even bother. Alright, let's get on to your actual B-rated movie reviews. Okay, this week we are back to Sci-Fi Week. Now this week we got two older movies, one from the 70s and one from the 80s. They're very similar. That's why I chose to review them. The first one is called Laserblast, and it was done in 1978. Now this was a movie that was written and directed by a guy named Charles Band. If you don't know who he is, he's the one who started Full Moon Pictures, or Features, back in 1988, 89, somewhere around there. You know, they're known for like Puppet Master and Scanners and a lot of B-rated movies. Now, he didn't start the company until like 1988, but the reason why Laserblast is part of the company is because this is a film he wrote and directed back in the 70s. Now, it came out just before or just after Star Wars. Actually, Star Wars came out in 77. And you'll see them reference Star Wars a couple of times, and they blow up a billboard sign that says Star Wars and crap like that. This movie starred Kim Milford. He's your main character. Cheryl Smith, who played his girlfriend. And it also had the famous Roddy McDowall in it, who played a doctor. Now, there was no box office numbers for this movie. I couldn't find any. That happens sometimes with older movies. So, the story is basically a guy finds like this weird looking weapon out in the desert. And he decides to get revenge on some people who's been treating him like crap. A real young guy, teenager, just having a hard time in life. So he takes his revenge out on some of the people who's been giving him a hard time. It's hard to explain. The movie really doesn't go into detail of what's going on, except for, at the very beginning you see this guy who's transformed into like this monster or whatever. He's wielding this, laser gun around, some type of cannon, fits over his arm. And some aliens come down, and he gets in a firefight with them, and they pretty much obliterate him. But they leave the weapon and this amulet that helps make it fire behind. They're eventually, it looks like their superior gets on to him, tells them to go back. Because apparently the aliens have some way of seeing who picked up the laser cannon next, which makes, I get it's to make the story go on, but literally the way they're showing this camera from the aliens' perspective, you know, viewing it on a view screen from the spaceship. You know, they're literally watching him pick up the cannon and shoot crap with it. So that was kind of dumb because there obviously was no cameras for them to see that. You know, it's a little ridiculous. But eventually the aliens do come back. And by this time, Kim Milford, who plays a guy named Billy, he's starting to transform into a monster now. And they, of course, shoot him, kill him. But again, they leave the weapon, the laser cannon, and the amulet behind that transforms him. So I don't get why they have to work together for the laser, or the you know, the laser cannon to work. It doesn't tell you why, and it doesn't tell you why it transforms whoever is using it into a monster. It's kind of a dumb movie. It was pretty cheesy, but you know, it was campy and cheesy fun. You know, I mean, that's all it was. It was just like someone just threw something together to have some fun about aliens and a laser weapon. I don't know. The acting, I give the acting a 3. It wasn't really all that great. It was okay. I mean, it was decent enough to watch. The special effects, actually, I didn't mind the special effects for the most part. The laser cannon looked wonky, but the aliens was claymation, so that's not surprising for the 70s. But for what it wasn't bad with the special effects. They were okay. The makeup department, though, could have used some help, because making them look like they're monsters didn't. It was just like a green face mask with some freaking teeth. So that was kind of cheesy. But other than that, like I said, the graphics weren't horrible. I give it a 3. It was okay. Not that great. The story. The overall story made no sense whatsoever. I definitely give it a 2, because the story, like I said, you have no idea what's really going on. Why does he have to have the amulet? Why does it turn him into a monster? Why does it create a sore with that turns into metal on his chest? It doesn't explain any of this. So the story was kind of bad at explaining things. Otherwise, it was okay to watch. You just really had no clue what was going on. So overall, I would give this thing a 3. This movie, this B-rated movie, is a 3. It could have been way better, but it just seemed like this Charles Band guy just wanted to throw something together real quick and try to make a quick buck. Anyways, that's Laserblast. If you just want some nostalgia or whatever from the 70s of, like, you know, Star Wars looking crap or whatever, some cheesy campy fun, I mean, you can go ahead and watch it, but it's not the greatest of movies. I mean, it was even featured on Mystery Science 3000, so take it with a grain of salt. I give it, you know, a thumbs up and a thumbs down, just because I do like cheesy fun crap like that. So the overall film, I give it a 3. It was okay. Moving on. The next movie was done in 1989, and it is called Deadly Weapon. And it stars Rodney Eastman. You may know him from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He played the character Joey on there. The one that really couldn't talk. And it also had Kim Walker, who is just a babe in the movie that, they needed a chick in there, I guess. The movie was really cheesy. Really cheesy. The story is basically I don't know what military branch. I'm guessing it was the Army. Lost a bunch of supplies. One of these boxes got away from them off the truck that turned over or whatever. And it ended up in a river and floated down a river to a little area that they didn't know about. This kid, Rodney's character, he gets picked on by everybody. His dad's a piece of crap, alcoholic piece of crap. His mother abandoned him. It's not even his real dad, it's his stepdad. I guess his dad died long ago or some crap. His sister's a real pain in the rear. Bunch of high school bullies pick on him, that kind of thing. So he's got to be a pretty crappy life. Anyways, he finds this crate and unpacks it and whatever and finds this weapon in it. Apparently the military was working on a weapon that can use antimatter and destroy stuff like a laser beam. It has like this little proton pack that's got it going on his back like a backpack. However, it's unstable, and the proton pack could go up, blow up at any time, which could literally destroy a whole city. Like a nuclear blast. But anyways, the military figures out that this kid has it because he goes like on a little rampage spree. Kills a few people with it, including his stepdad, to get revenge. This chick was with the leader of the school bullies, and then all of a sudden she's with him because she thinks it's cool he's going around blowing people up and shit. So he kind of takes people hostage. The military gets involved, but he gets out of there, and then I don't know, the military brings in his mother and tries to talk him into joining her. He thinks he's going on a spaceship. He's kind of lost his head. They kill him. They set it up to where to bring him out, and they kill him. And that's the end of that. That's literally the movie. So it wasn't the greatest of movies. It was pretty cheesy. I mean, the special effects weren't even all that great. So you had a couple of decent actors on there, but even then it just fell flat. It really fell flat. As far as acting goes, I give it probably a 2 because it really was not that good. As far as acting goes, I didn't think anyway. Special effects, I give that about a 2 too, because they tried, but it just looked really, really wonky, really bad. The story was just downright terrible. It was bad. I give it a 2 as well. Overall, this movie gets like a 2. I mean, you can watch it, but it's just it's hard not to want to go to sleep when watching it. It was pretty bad. So I definitely give this 2 thumbs down. It was not a good movie. I don't recommend watching this movie. And that's pretty much all I have for you this week. Tune in next week where I have a couple more B-rated movies to review for you. I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.